Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Michael, MCC29, with League of Items. Today, Roto Grinders released their esports rankings for the first time, and right now I'm ranked number 39. I think before coronavirus, I would have been a lot higher than that, but I haven't been performing as well recently. But I'm pretty optimistic about the upcoming slates, and I think that I've been doing everything the right way, so eventually I'll get back to taking down some of these tournaments. We're going to start off today looking at last night's slate. It was a 6-game slate in China and Korea. The best stack of the night ended up taking second place. It was a 4-3 stack, 80 carry with Top Esports and APK Prince. So APK Prince was actually a big underdog, and they brought it home yesterday against the Freak of Freaks. The winning lineup did a slight pivot from the other. The best lineup did like a 3-man swap basically from the top stack. So if you take a look, I guess we'll just go back to this. So the difference between these two lineups is that the winning lineup included Beishang from World Elite, which they actually ended up losing that series, but they had a high scoring jungler for that, which is kind of crazy, a crazy outcome for Clouds. Karsa was the jungler for Top Esports. He was the captain. Another just like wild lineup to come in first place with the jungler in first. He had 48 assists last night. Obviously, that's not something that we expect to be reproduced very often. And like we mentioned yesterday, Fodic is actually going to be replaced by Jackie Love at some point, but for now he's still performing at a high level, so you definitely want to include him in your lineups if he's on the slate. But that's basically it for last night. If we take a look at the results, the sheet did have that lineup because, like I said, the top stack was a straightforward stack. It was 4-3. It's one of the first kind of lineups that people build. It was chopped by a lot of people, but it's still, that's why you run out the stacks that are going to be duplicated anyways, because if one of them hits, then you're going to take home a good chunk of money. I think second place tied for like 3,700 or something like that. But again, congrats to Clouds. That was a nice takedown yesterday. So for tonight's games, we have we've gone through this already. I did this with DFS Bachelor on his channel, but I figured I'd go over it a little bit more and show you one of the other sheets that I have that I might make available soon. So real quick, before we get into everything, let's take a look at some of the lines. The highest equity team right now is Invictus Gaming. They're minus 10,000 against V5, which is insane. That means they're going to win 99% of the time. I don't think so. So in this situation, I guess they're saying they're actually a 90-ish percent favorite, so like 90 to 10. So 1 in 10 times victory 5 wins the series. Who knows? I'm not positive, but 90 to 10 just doesn't seem right. T1, another huge favorite. They're playing Griffin tonight, so they're a huge favorite. The smallest favorite on the slate is Damwon Gaming, and they're in the last game of the night. Just something to keep in the back of your head. I was talking to DFS Bachelor before. He likes the idea of Damwon Gaming, and so do I. APK Prince played against the Freak of Freaks yesterday and was on the winning lineup, so I think it's definitely possible that Damwon Gaming does it as well. I think the past couple of slates we've seen underdogs win. We might be heading into a direction where people start rostering underdogs a little too much and take away some of their win equity. So here's a new sheet that I wanted to share with everybody today. This is a sheet that I made, which is basically another view of that results tab that I have that lists the 4,500 lineups. This lists the 4,500 lineups as well, but it only shows one team's captain at a time. It's a little bit easier to look at, a little more friendly to look at. for the user. So I'm going to take a different captain from a different team. So let's take a look at Invictus Gaming. So they are the most expensive team. One thing to mention is that in here I only include 10 teams because I'm not looking to use all 12 teams anyways. And it's a little easier to set up the sheet that way. So let's take a look. So we have IG against V5. So if you take a look at something like IG plus Sandbox Gaming, I don't like Sandbox Gaming personally tonight, but the only possible lineup with IG and Puff as the captain is Puff the Shy, Leon, Rookie, Root, Gorilla, and Sandbox Gaming. So I would expect a lot of people to use this lineup, for instance. IG's playing V5, so we don't want any of that. IG plus Griffin. If Invictus Gaming is the highest performing stack on the night, you're going to need to pair them with some underdogs and just get under the 50,000. So, maybe Griffin can pull off the upset against SKT. Very unlikely, but that's how you would be able to get exposure to somebody like Puff as your captain. So it looks like if you want to run out a 4-3 stack with Puff as the captain, only this lineup, which is the Sandbox Gaming lineup, or Griffin are going to be possible. This means that people are going to have to look towards different kinds of lineup constructions in order to get Puff as their captain. So now we're going to 3-4. So Invictus Gaming with a 3-4, you can pair them with Dominus, Sandbox again, Griffin, like we said before, and that's it. So for everybody who's looking to run out Puff tonight, you're really only going to be able to get him with specific team combinations, which is a great thing to know, obviously, because you know how to pivot off of what the field is going to do. So if you want Puff, you need to pair him with one of those teams. So let's just make a note of that. So you can do Puff 4-3, a 4-3 with Sandbox, Griffin, and then a 3-4 with Dominus. So when I'm going through my sheet, I don't write down every possible combination really. I just want to look for, can I do 3-4s or 4-3s? If I can do a 4-3 with Sandbox and Griffin, then I just know that I can do a 3-4 with Sandbox or Griffin as well. That'll make me a little bit more differentiated, and I could also look for some pivots, which is like what we saw last night. So let's look at the next player, next possible captain. Somebody like Rookie. So then we scroll down to the mid lineups. Again, we can do Sandbox, but now we have more options for Sandbox. Victory 5 we're still not using. Griffin. So it's still Sandbox and Griffin. We're not getting much new by going down to the mid laner. So we can also do 3-4 Dominus, 3-4 Sandbox, 3-4 Griffin. And the reason I go through this and I look at it this way is because every once in a while you'll find a combination that just fits, and those are, very good lineups that you want to try to take advantage of. All right, so now we're on Leon. And now I would assume we're getting into the territory where we have some new teams available to us. Maybe not. 3-4 Dominus again, Sandbox again, V5 Griffin, RNG. All right, here we go. So IG plus RNG. That looks like a very good stack for tonight. you could do something. All of these lineups fit, so I'm definitely going to take notice of that. So if I have Leon as my captain, I can do 3/4s with RNG. And so that's a great lineup construction. If you want to get off of, I'm not going to look at top and I'm not going to look at support just because it's very unlikely that those end up being the best lineups. It's possible, but this is like really just a first pass through this. I'm not gonna spend time looking at everything like that. So, just going through a couple different captains, you can notice how many different potential lineups there are. So this is, like I was saying, this is another sheet that I have. It just has the player names, the potential different stacks per team. It has their salaries involved. It has their average scoring. So if you have something like your own projections that you wanted to plug into this, that's also a potential thing that you can do. But again, I'm skeptical on projections just because it's never going to accurately represent like the top percentage outcome that we're really looking for. And if you were to plug something like that in, then it's just going to give you a lot of noise because it's like, okay, well, obviously if I project every team to have their best possible outcome, everybody is going to make sense in a lineup that I throw out there. And I think that there's like an assumption baked in to creating your lineup in the first place. Like, you're not going to run a lineup out there that you don't think has the chance to come in first place. And if you do, then you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. So that's basically it. That's all I really wanted to go over for my sheet on this one. Yeah, so if you have any questions about what kind of potential lineups that there are out there for your team, just hit me up, leave a comment on YouTube, send me a direct message on Twitter at League of Items, and we can kind of go through some of the potential options that are out there for you tonight. But, I just want to make a quick short video on this, and I think I've accomplished that. So the next thing I'm going to do is take a look at the European slate for tomorrow, so make sure to take some time and look at that later on today when I post that one. Otherwise, good luck making your lineups. Good luck tonight. And that's all I got.